Winter is here, our skin is drying out, so I'm going to be sharing with you my favorite foundations for dry skin. I have every range of price points, from luxury to high-end to drugstore, and then also ranging from coverage, starting from very, very light to relatively full. I will say super full coverage isn't the best for dry skin, but what inspired me to do this video is I spent the last week in Maryland and my skin started to dry. It's been a long time since I've seen it like that, since I do live in a humid climate now. But for those of you who are suffering right now, I'm sharing with you my favorite products. Now, when it comes to dry skin, and I personally do have dry skin as well, the best thing that you can do to make your makeup look good and also just help yourself in the long run is prep your skin properly and, of course, have a very hydrating skincare routine. Use those skincare masks, use those hydrating sprays, glob it on before you go to bed at night. All of that is going to translate how your makeup looks, and of course, just the longevity and youthfulness of your skin. I do want to quickly share 3 products that I love for drier skin days prior to makeup. These products sit well underneath makeup because skin prep is almost more important than the product. Because let me tell you, if you have properly hydrated skin, you can wear almost any foundation, but for emergency days, I really love the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream. This is great before makeup because it's lightweight, but Kiehl's is such a good brand. This is a deeply hydrating moisturizer that is going to be fabulous before makeup because it's not going to feel too heavy. It's going to work better than any hydrating makeup primer. And then also, I like a hydrating mist. These two I love to death. So we have the Laneige Cream Skin Mist and then also the D'Alba First Spray Serum. Both of these add a great layer of hydration that's really lightweight on the skin and leaves a glow before applying makeup. Also, it just looks great on no makeup days. But those are some prep products that I wanted to share beforehand. But let's go ahead and get into the foundations. I'm going to start off with my high-end / luxury section here, and we're going to start mostly, I want to say, by coverage is the way that we're going to go. If you suffer from very dry skin, if there's one thing that you need, this is one of the most versatile products you're going to end up using with any foundation. So this is the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint. Now, I've got to be honest, I don't love this on its own. I think it sits a little heavy on the skin and can look a little bit oily. It just doesn't wear great. But the reason I am putting this in today's video is because any foundation you have, this is going to add a hydrating factor to it. It's going to lighten the coverage a little bit, but it is going to add hydration so that your makeup's going to sit much better on your dry skin. This also is amazing for helping to blend out foundation sticks. So if you have a foundation stick that's feeling a little stiff, pop a couple drops on your face of this and it's going to help that foundation blend like butter. It essentially is going to add an oil kind of moisturizing element to whatever foundation, and it's going to help just make your skin feel better. If you have dry skin, it's going to sit on the skin better. So personally, actually, just like I said, I don't like it on its own, but that is my go-to on a really dry skin day if I want to wear a specific foundation. But if you do want to wear it on its own, it does give a light medium kind of coverage. It's not fully medium. It's definitely on the lighter side of that, but it can sit heavy, so less is more when it comes to that. Okay, now this one is an investment, but it truly is like putting skincare on your face. This is the Chantecaille Future Skin Oil-Free Gel Foundation. Not only if you have dry skin, but if you also have very sensitive skin, this is your go-to. Or if your skin is extremely dry to the point where it almost hurts, that kind of situation, on really rough days like that, I definitely recommend this because Chantecaille puts amazing skincare ingredients in their products and you definitely see it with the wear. It's very lightweight on the skin, however, you're not going to get a lot of coverage with this, so that lightweight does play into how much coverage you're getting, but it just evens your skin tone out, makes your skin look better, and it has a way of truly looking like skin on the face. This is a product where you can put it on your skin just to even everything out, to make it feel better, get that hydration, but you don't need any other makeup, because you know how sometimes if you just apply a foundation, your face looks off, you look dead, like you need other products to pair with it. This is so skin-like that you don't need to put on any other makeup for it. So it's just going to give you that nice even coverage on the skin, and it's going to relieve any dryness that you feel. Okay, so these next two I have kind of one and the same, so don't go picking up both, but I did want to share my love for both. So the first one is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. Now this one is cheaper than Hourglass, so if that is your deciding factor, there you go. This is glowy, it gives a light coverage, and it's great for every day just to throw on. It really is exactly what it sounds like, a serum-y skin tint situation, so don't buy this expecting full coverage. It's going to give that nice juicy glow to the skin. If you pair it with a good concealer and then a little bit of powder, you can get more coverage out of that whole situation. But this was a go-to this summer for me. It feels very lightweight on the skin. And very similar to it is the Hourglass Veil Hydrating Skin Tint. This one is like the tiniest little bit less glowy than the Danessa Myricks, and I think you can get like slightly more coverage. But that's me being very specific, honestly, like looking in a magnetized mirror. If you put these side by side on the face, they look nearly identical. So go with the Danessa Myricks in terms of price point. But if I did have to pick one, while they both are equally as beautiful, I do like the Hourglass a little bit more. So take that as you will. I would say the Hourglass wears a little bit better. Like I look a little less oily at the end of the day with the Hourglass, but you cannot go wrong with either. If you're on the market for a truly good light coverage skin tint, they're going to feel hydrating to the skin. That's the way to go. Perfect for the winter time. I know everybody talks about skin tints for the summertime, but I think skin tints carry very well into the winter on your drier skin days. Your skin is going to thank you. Okay, so now we're going to go into the products that have a little bit more coverage. I think that this Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue Moisturizing Makeup does not get the credit that it deserves. I think it is great for mature skin. Now, it will give you a medium to full coverage, so that's very different than the previous products that I mentioned. So if you need coverage, this is a great way to go. It feels like a skin tint, but not super tinty. It actually gives you coverage. They describe it as moisturizing makeup, and I really do feel that way. It does nourish the skin while maintaining coverage. That's really hard to do for dry skin, you know? It gives you a little bit of a glow, and then it keeps moisture under your skin, and it wears really well. So if you just want some more coverage, but you want your skin to not dry out, to give a little bit of relief in terms of moisturization, this one is really nice. Estee Lauder always does a good job with their foundations. I think they might be discontinuing this. This is my all-time favorite foundation, so
they ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
It's my #1 foundation recommendation to you. It's the Tom Ford Traceless Foundation Stick. I have never had a bad skin day with this foundation, dry skin or not. You can truly customize how much coverage you want, and I'm truly terrified if it goes discontinued. I don't know what I'm going to do, because this is the most skin-like foundation on the market that still gives a medium to semi-full coverage. It literally is a second skin here in this little product. You can put it on your skin and not have any other makeup on, and it looks completely normal. It also gives you that fuller coverage if you need it to, and it wears really great. So this is actually a go-to for when I go to events. It's kind of fun just putting the stick on my face. One of my all-time favorite foundations. My dry skin really enjoys this. I'm not going to go out of my way to say like this actually hydrates the skin. It doesn't hydrate the skin. However, it looks good if you have dry skin. Dior is always reformulating, I feel like. I've gone through 3 different formulations of the Dior Forever Skin Glow, and every single one has been phenomenal. This is definitely a top foundation of mine. It's reliable in terms of wear time and reliable on the finish. They do have a matte version, which the matte version is definitely for heavy duty days, heavy duty hot days, days where you're wearing makeup for a long time, but more so on the everyday front. I will go for this, but it still is just as beautiful for events. It's a medium coverage and it is a glowy foundation, but it's not too glowy. It's very realistic to how skin looks, and as the day goes on, the glow is going to come out a little bit more. So a big problem with glowy foundations is that they can look a little bit oily more towards the end of the day. You kind of have to watch it with how you prep, and maybe you need to touch up a little bit. This is one of the foundations where it doesn't start off too glowy, but it's going to give you that beautiful glow throughout the day as your natural oils begin to come through. Of the ones I've mentioned, this is one of the better options if you have porous skin, because it doesn't have as much glow as the rest, so it's not going to emphasize that as much. And it has a pretty nice skin-like finish. It looks very smooth on the skin. Your skin almost looks soft to the touch with this. This is one of my all-time favorite foundations, one of my most used, one of my most repurchased. So that should tell you that this stands the test of time. I really enjoy this. And then of course, if you have oily skin, I don't know why you're here at this video, but the matte version will be the one for you. Okay, here's another all-time favorite foundation. My dry skin loves it. This one is definitely more what I would describe as a perfecting foundation, meaning it kind of smooths over the pores, makes the skin look flawless kind of situation because it provides more coverage, it has more of a smooth finish, and it's not unnaturally glowy. It looks more on the natural side of finish. So this is the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. I got this and I've been hooked ever since I've purchased it. It's medium, but it's buildable to almost full coverage, so it is one of our fuller coverage products that we're talking about today. And kind of the key thing for this with me is it gives a really soft look to the skin because it does become one with the skin despite it having more of a full coverage, and it doesn't emphasize my dry patches, which is really important. It just gives that smooth finish. So like, I love this, I love the Dior, and I love the Tom Ford. All of them are kind of my go-tos for events, but for the most perfecting, photo-friendly, flash-friendly product, I would say that this one wins. It's probably because it also has the least amount of glow, which it's not going to give you that oily flashback. And then we have, this is the last high-end product. This is from Haus Labs. It's a newer foundation. I've talked about it a lot in recent videos because it's a great product. This is just the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tat Foundation. It has a nice skin-like finish. It is infused with a lot of different skincare ingredients that are great for drier skin. Now, some people have hit or miss experiences with this, so this one I would get a sample of first to make sure that it works with your skin, but I can say that it definitely works with my skin. It's a medium coverage, and this is a great everyday foundation because it doesn't feel too heavy on the skin, but it still gives that medium coverage, so you're looking put together and even. So yeah, we really like this one. Super good. Now, if you're balling on a budget, I do have 3 options for you that I think are phenomenal and perform just as good as some of the previous foundations that I've mentioned. Most of these are on the lighter side of coverage. I think one thing that the drugstore struggles with is coming up with a good hydrating but full coverage foundation. It's pretty tricky, even on the high-end market. That's difficult to master. So these provide lighter and then medium coverage. So first I have this one from Neutrogena. Of the affordable options, this one's going to give the lighter coverage. This is the Neutrogena Sensitive Skin Serum Foundation. I would say it gives on the light side of coverage, but it can give you like a light medium. Not quite medium, but a lighter medium. This finish of this is very skin-like. It's great for every day just to have a more put together look on your skin. Gives a little bit of a hydrating factor there. More of the everyday option that's very good on dry skin. Now, this one is probably the best if you're on a budget. I think Wet n Wild has probably surpassed e.l.f. now for being the most, if not one of the most affordable brands. Their tinted hydrator, not enough people talk about. This is one of the best tinted moisturizers on the drugstore market. I'm stating it here. This product truly does become one with the skin, especially if you apply it with your fingers. It feels lightweight when you apply this. It does not feel like you are wearing any product. It looks skin-like as well, and it just does exactly what all of the claims say they're gonna do. Tinted hydrator, there's hyaluronic acid, squalane, all great ingredients if you have drier skin, lightweight, non-greasy finish, sheer to medium coverage. It doesn't quite hit medium, but it definitely evens everything out. So I would say this one's probably my favorite from the drugstore for really dry skin days. But that doesn't mean I don't also love this L'Oreal True Match Nude. So this one also is that serum keyword that's really popular nowadays in the drugstore market. It has hyaluronic acid in there as well. So this one is a little bit different than the rest because it's more flat. I would say it has more of, I don't want to say matte, but it's definitely more flat. I would not use the word glowy to describe this whatsoever. So that would make it really great if you're a little bit more oily or porous, and it gives a light medium coverage. It definitely reaches medium for sure. So of the three of the drugstore, this one is the most pigmented, right? It's going to give you the most coverage. So just to compare, since these two have similar packaging, this one has a lot less coverage and a lot more glow. This one, you could put it in a different bottle, and you know, when I see this bottle, at least I think it's going to be light coverage and glowy. This formula should be in like a normal bottle. It really is like a true foundation, but it doesn't emphasize any dryness on the skin looks wise, and it does have the proper ingredients necessary for dry skin that's going to help it out while you're wearing it. So there we have it. Those are all of my favorite foundations for my dry skin. These are my go-tos for when my skin is just not looking great. If you have dry skin, please let me know what products you love down below. I'd love to hear it. And oily recommendations as well are always welcome. I won't be doing an oily skin recommendation because I don't have oily skin. I am happy to take your suggestions. I might do like a short of things that I think would work great for oily skin, but I just don't have the skin to test the products out fully on oily skin. I can talk about, you know, what worked well when I was a makeup artist on those clients. Anyways, I'm not gonna do that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. I wanted this to be a resource for you. I will have all of the products linked down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.